So South and North Korea may not be conversing much these days, but the two sides meet later this Tuesday afternoon for a men's football World Cup qualifier match in Pyongyang. It is the first inter-Korean home game for the North Korean men's team in nearly 3 decades. But even before the opening kick at Pyongyang's Kim Il-sung Stadium, the North is pitching a shutout against the South. No live broadcast, no cheer squad, no traveling news media. Will this impact game results? What kind of a game do we expect? Well, joining me live in the studio is football columnist and associate editor for K-League United, Paul Neat. Paul, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Now, South Korea's 25-member squad includes top athletes who compete in the English Premier League, Germany's Bundesliga, and Spain's La Liga. Now, compared with the South's globe-trotting stars, North Korean team, we don't know many of the stars or players. Now, what do we know about them? Who will be on the roster? Who plays right? Who plays left? Now, who should our Lee Gang-in or Son Heung-min be on the lookout for?
Yeah, it seems that they've kept a good core of the squad from the last World Cup qualifying campaign. The spine of the team with the two centre-backs and midfield player and a striker, Jong Il-kwon, who scored 2 goals against Lebanon earlier in the campaign. So he'll be one for South Korea to look out for. He's got good movement off the ball. He's got 2 really good goals as well, so he'll be one to watch.
Now, what are the North Korean team's strengths? I mean, other than playing on home turf, perhaps in this case, they train with each other on a day-to-day basis compared to the South Korean side, where they're all over the world. So it's hard for them to train with each other on a daily basis. Artificial turf, that's something that the South Korean team is not too familiar with, which the Kim Il-sung Stadium is what it is. Now, would these factors work against the South Korean team and in favor of the North? And what are some factors the North Korean team is strong in?
Yeah, they're very well organised. They've got a tight defence. They've kept 2 clean sheets in their last 2 games, and yeah, their home record is good. They've won the last 5 games in a row now, so they'll be feeling confident. But yeah, like you said, they train together every day, so there's that teamwork and the cohesion that they've had. South Korea don't have that time to prepare as much as North Korea. But yeah, the artificial turf will be an issue because the way the ball bounces and behaves is a lot different to real grass. But Hwang In-bom, who plays in the MLS now, he plays for Vancouver Whitecaps. Their home pitch is also fake turf, so he'll be used to it, but a lot of the players won't be.
Right, and I'm no football expert, but what I've read is that you wear different football shoes, yeah? Yes,
that's right. Yes, there'll be moulded studs, so they're a lot shorter for this kind of surface.
So is that a different feeling, unfamiliar feeling for the players to be running on moulded shoes, I guess?
Yeah, your touch will be that little bit less precise in these kind of shoes because they've got like a lip around the front, like you would in a normal pair of shoes. So yeah, the pitch will be different, and also the shoes that they will wear also have a different feel to it.
Now, drawing from North Korea's win over Lebanon, like you said, and Sri Lanka, and of course South Korea's win over Sri Lanka, what's your strict assessment of each football team's competence?
Well, they'll be very well organised. They'll be in a 4-4-2. I think I saw Lee Jae-sung say that that's what they'll be expecting them to play, 4-4-2 with a counter-attacking football. I think they'll try and get men behind the ball and make life very difficult for South Korea. And South Korea do find it hard to break teams down that do this, get men behind the ball and make it difficult. So I think we'll have quite a interesting affair. Maybe it'll be a game that doesn't have too many goals. Of course, this fixture hasn't had that many goals in the past, 1-0s and 0-0s and stuff like that. So in terms of South Korea, they like to get the ball in around the final third and try and exploit the space between the full-back and the centre-back using those 3 attacking midfield players and the 1 forward. So it's a match of 2 different styles of football, but it'll be quite interesting to see what the outcome is.
Now, interestingly enough, there is a North Korean player by the name of Han Kwang-sung who recently signed with Juventus under-23 team. So he's probably the only North Korean player who plays with an overseas team, other than Chung Dae-se, right? Who's not actually a North Korean.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, there is one more, Jong Il-kwon, who plays in Switzerland. Actually,
okay.
But yeah. Like I said, Han, he plays for the Juventus under-23s, and from what I've seen of him in Italy, he's very skillful, very quick feet. He likes to drop deep as well, so whoever it is that's playing in that defensive midfield playing role, against Sri Lanka it was Paek Sung-ho, but I'd imagine it was someone more experienced like Jung Woo-young. Whoever it is that plays in that role would need to read the game well and not commit themselves too much so that they leave space in behind. So he's a very skillful player.
So there is a possibility for Chung Woo-young to be marking him. Is that correct?
I would expect so. Yeah, I would expect it to be him, someone more experienced because of the atmosphere and the conditions. Paek Sung-ho obviously is very highly rated by Paolo Bento, it seems.
Right.
So maybe he will get a start, and if he does, it'll be a huge vote of confidence for him. But this kind of game needs a lot of experience, both in that area and also all around the pitch as well.
Absolutely. So how many points must Bento's team, the South Korean team, earn from this game? And what about the North Korean side? How many points are they vying for?
I think if South Korea can get a point, get a draw, that would be seen as an okay result. It's very difficult, these kind of games, in hostile atmospheres with no away supporters. If they can get a point, that'll be fine. Anything else after that will be a bonus. But for North Korea, they'll be expected to win. You know, they've got a huge crowd there. Maybe even if Kim Jong-un is in attendance, then even more so. So for them, definitely at least a draw, and a draw might suit both teams.
A draw.
Yeah.
Now, like you said, South Korean players are familiar with a die-hard Red Devil fans screaming in their support, 대한민국 or whatnot, at the top of their lungs. Now, this time around, it'll be, near silence. And when they play, I would imagine there are no live broadcasts, no news media coverage, and no cheer squad. What kind of a factor, does that work? How does that work for the players' mental health? The mental being when you play?
Yeah, it'd be a very strange atmosphere for them. It'll be an experience that they probably haven't experienced too many times before and probably won't do ever again. But, there are players like Son Heung-min, who's played at the highest level in Europe. He's gone to difficult places with Tottenham and stuff. So it will be difficult, but it's not something that the experienced players haven't experienced before.
Right. So since the live broadcast is not allowed this time around, how do you plan to watch this game? How do you plan to follow this game tonight?
Well, I'll just have to keep watching the Korean Football Association's social media and see if they're going to provide any updates, because it seems at the moment that's the only way that anybody can watch or find out what the score will be. So it'll be interesting, yeah.
Social media it is. All right, Paul Neat, Associate Editor at K-League United. Thank you so much for your insights today.
Thank you.